Hello Pisces, hope you guys are doing great. Welcome to the year 2022 and welcome back to the Sapphire Spider Oracle channel. If it's your first time being here, thanks for checking it out, and if it's a returning time for you, I appreciate you coming back. Brand new year, let's get started. Got some fresh energy. I got a new crystal in here for you guys too. It's Trolleite. Love that sparkle. Found it at my crystal seller's home right before he went to Christmas. Back to Brazil to go get more crystals. So this comes out of Brazil. It's the only place you can find it. And it's just really beautiful. I love it. And I haven't worked with it yet, but I've done 2 readings so far before yours, and they've been pretty powerful. I like it. I've also got some blue Aragonite, green Fluorite, which let's get that out into the light a little bit. Got my rose quartz orb, and I got this amethyst here. So, also Spirit Animal Oracle deck and my Klimt deck, which haven't been on the channel in a while. So let's see what's going on. All right, let's start with your Spirit Animal Oracle. It wants me to split the deck again. It wants fresh energy in here for 2022. That is for sure. All right. Energy just like totally calmed down in here. Wow, yeah, it's been pretty high energy for the past 2 readings that I just did right before yours, and it just definitely like calmed down a bit. So we got a full moon in Cancer coming up here in just a few days. It's January, brand new year. What's the spirit animal coming to you at this time? Owl spirit, you see clearly now. You know what's really funny? For Virgo, they had the number 34 and you have the number 43. So there's a bit of a mirror message. That's the first thing I noticed here. There's a bit of a mirror message here. Also in this rose quartz, there's like a volcano with like a smoke plume coming out of it. I say a volcano. It's not giving me an explosive energy. It's like it's active is what it just said. It's active. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's active. It's an active volcano. With this owl spirit here, it says, you see clearly now. And I was talking about that mirror message between the Virgo reading and this Pisces reading. So, there's, and Virgo and Pisces are sister signs. They're opposite on the zodiac wheel, right? So that is just where they're literally your mirror and vice versa. And you might have some Virgo in your chart, maybe Pisces. There's something about that mirror message here. Look at this beautiful crown that this owl is wearing though. And there's definitely like a little jewel on the 3rd eye. Oh, this owl has eyelashes. So this is, it said ladybird or like Lady Hawk, and I had that in the last reading for Pisces. It's kind of referencing the last reading, and it did that for Virgo too. You're working with a sister energy, and if it's not a Virgo themselves, it's just pointing out that mirror energy for you, Pisces. I'm definitely getting a feminine energy off of this owl. Oh, she got necklaces too. Definitely getting that feminine energy off of this owl. Owls are very representative of Lilith energy, which is that dark feminine aspect, which a lot of people give Lilith energy a bad rap, but Lilith is very empowering energy. It's not going much further than that. There's something down here at its feet though. I'm trying to see what that is. I think it just perched on like a branch or something, but it's kind of unidentifiable at this time. There's something that it's sitting on. It's a little mysterious. Like it's not quite opening up. It's not how this is like a snowy owl, a white owl. I'm gonna wait to see if this speaks a little bit more when we get started with your tarot reading. At this time, it says, you see clearly now. So you see clearly now, but there's a hard time with the speaking and expression. There's something not quite being said or revealed verbally at this time, but got big eyes, big eyelashes, mirror energy or sister, brother energy. There's this, you see something clearly. Gave me the song, I can see clearly now, the rain is gone, right? So that's a positive song. I can see all obstacles in my way. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. This is a really dark energy card, like just the color wise. So this is like the night energy, and then you're singing this song about a bright sunny day. And there is a little bit of like this kind of light coming through, this dawning energy, right? So that's what I'm catching so far. You got 3 cards here. What's up? Let's get started with the tarot reading. What messages are expanding off of this around this full moon at this time? You have 3 cards and you have a 3 here, and Virgo had a ton of 3s coming through. So, you sit with it. Hang on, I'm trying to give it time because I did just do the Virgo reading like just a few, minutes ago and everything. So I'm just trying to make sure the message is clear. Okay, it said wait. It said wait, but it also said, it said it in 2 different ways. This is really weird. I've never caught that off this card. This part of the harp here, or the lute, this bar that's coming across here, it's holding the strings up that she's playing. That's so funny. That's weird. I was in my shower the other day, and the shower bar that holds up the curtain, I looked up and there was a little bitty sticker on it with the letter B. And that's when I was like, it's my shower bar. And I was having a very emotional day, and I realized that that bar was holding the curtain for me, which gave me this privacy and solitude to cry in the shower. So it was kind of one of those things like where it was just, it was talking about this protective energy, and there's this bar holding up the strings that she's playing. And that's where this bar looked very much like a weight, like a bar weight, right? For like a weight bench. So it was saying weight as in like weight on something, but then it was saying it as in like weights. There is a heavy weight present in this card. There is a heavy weight that she is holding up. If that's a weight bar and this is a whole lute, then she's holding a very heavy instrument, very heavy weight. And it was saying a little bit of Ice Queen, because she's kind of got this bejeweled head band or something. It looks like little crystals in her hair, almost like little amethyst crystals. You might want to work with amethyst. That might be a crystal that you need at this time. Which amethyst is very much about being psychic and connected to the third eye and everything, and the crown, and protects you while you're sleeping, protects your dreams, protects your energy overall. It's just they call it the all-around healing stone, right? Like, it's just great for everything. Oh, that was cute. It was saying how like her song, her figure, she herself is like great for everything. So we've got this heavy weight holding these strings. She can't play a lute without that part of the instrument, right? Like, she can't play that song without that part of the instrument. So it's just saying, like, this is a very important piece. This is a very important part of what she's doing. And there was that message about the curtain, the shower curtain, holding it up, giving her that privacy and solitude in which to do these things. But that's where I was, yet again, locking eyes with this face that is hiding behind her figure. And I did that in the Virgo reading. That's why I wanted to pause and sit here for a minute and make sure that my message was clear and in tune for the right things. This face behind her, at first, when I first flipped this card over, the first thing it had me doing is I just locked eye with that mask, with that face. And it's just, like, it just had me staring at it. And it's like, that's what it just had me doing again. There's something where you're just like locked in, staring at this eye, this face, and it's like looming behind her back, looming behind her figure. She's got her eyes closed and her head bowed, and she's just playing this instrument and just doing her thing. And then there's just this face. And it's like the weirdest thing. I never noticed it was there before. So it's just something that popped out today, and it's a very looming energy that I've never really caught off of this Three of Pentacles. This is a very beautiful card. So you're noticing that. You're noticing that. You're noticing this looming energy, this looming heavy weight. And there's something, it just said linchpin. There's like a linchpin. It's the thing that's like holding this whole instrument together, holding her together, holding the song together. Like there's something, there's something like that. It's like you can't quite figure out exactly what there's this looming thing, and there's a linchpin, and there's something holding it all together. And it's like if you could just figure out what that key is, how to pull that, like what, right? Like you're trying to figure out what that energy is that's present right here. Let's keep going. Damn, you like just pulling the card straight out of Virgo's reading. So they also had this card, but it was flip-flopped. It was opposite. Okay, it's really pointing out the number 2 right now on this card. So that's definitely a big deal. I was saying how when I went and got this crystal, the guy had like, like a bazillion crystals in his house. And actually the one that I really, really wanted was this huge honking orb, like this big. It was like this freaking big, but it was labeled for $222. And I definitely couldn't swing that, right? And then I was looking through the rest of them, and I found this one, and I just loved the sparkle that was in it. And so it was one of those things where I was like, okay, I'm just going to have to get this one. And because Pentacles is money, right? So there's very much a money mindset being brought up here. And it's like, I can't afford to get that one. I'm going to get this one. But I tapped it to that big one that was labeled for 222 because I was like, that's what I really want. That's the energy I really want, right? And they're cut from the same stone. It's pointing that out. It says they're cut from the same stone. So even though this is a smaller crystal, and then there was that bigger one that I really wanted, they're cut from the exact same stone, from the same mind, same location. So they come from the same stone, which means they're vibrationally aligned. That was a message coming through on Aquarius. We're talking about like alignment in the Aquarius reading. They're cut from the same stone. They're vibrationally aligned. And that's why I tapped it to that crystal, because I was like, that same energy that's in that crystal is coming with me in this one. And I did that. So there's kind of that connection about that. And that's where we have these child figures with this woman So the same vibrational energy that she carries is in these two as well. Oh, whoa, I get, wow. So we're talking about offspring. We're talking about offspring, which of course is children. But it gave me the song from The Offspring. It's that song that says, man, yeah, and there's a big cross again in my crystal now. It's that song that says, and it feels like heaven is so far away. And it stings like the world is so cold now that you've gone away. That's like my favorite Offspring song. Like, it's sad and depressing because it's pretty much about, you know, like suicide or something like that. That's not what the vibe I'm catching off of that. It's just, that's the song it just gave me. I have a hard time listening to a bunch of rock songs these days because the vibe is just not the right thing, right? It's too heavy. There's some things I can't listen to anymore because they're just too vibrationally heavy for me. I have to align my energy to a higher vibration or I'll get kind of like stuck in that. And you're trying to pass on that energy, Pisces. That's part of the message that it's saying here. You're trying to pass on that better vibe, that higher vibration, aligning to a better vibration, serving a better vibration to others. But there's very much this undertone of that Offspring song of the world is so cold now that you've gone away. It feels like heaven's so far away. All of that. Y'all saw them fall out of the deck. I didn't pull these, so they just came out together. Oh. It was saying they came out together. Like all three of these cards. For some of you guys, it's coming out the closet. For some of you guys, it's just saying like arriving together. And I was talking about alignment, vibrationally being aligned. Like there's things happening at the same time. I was talking about the mirror energy. So there's somebody or something that you align to. This energy is coming out at the same time. There's this matching mirror energy. And it's literally, this is the reverse order. This is the mirror order of what was in the Virgo reading. That's crazy. This is so crazy. But I mean, I was just saying it's a match. It's a mirror. It's exactly the same on both sides. So in Virgo's reading, this is the energy you're receiving. This is heartbreak, loss, grief, pain, everything I was expressing in that Offspring song. This energy is matched and it's here for you as well, Pisces. Pisces, part of that was a warning, what I just said. It was saying it's here for you too, Pisces. That face, it's here for you too, Pisces. So that same energy, you might really want to go check out that Virgo reading, Pisces. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous how much this is just a mirror reflection of that reading. It's crazy. This face here that's looming, this looming weight, this feeling, this pain, this that song, all that. It said it's here for you, Pisces. It said it's here for you too. That's what I mean. That energy that was present in that Virgo reading, that kind of heavy pain energy we were talking about, it was also labeled as petty energy. It's here for you too. it's Venus retrograde right now, and it's about to be Mercury retrograde. There's a lot of things we're about to be reviewing at this time, in a reflection wise. And so, and retrogrades move backwards, or they look like they move backwards, right? And I'm getting that very much. You're very much syncing up with these retrograde energies, and there's like this, oh yeah, it was just talking about a bow and how like the arrow being pulled back, right? And that's what retrogrades do. They pull you back to review stuff before it launches you back into a forward motion energy, usually very rapidly. And so that's where it's just saying like you're being pulled back to be released. Give me a pause for just 1 second. Someone's pulling up at this time at my house and I need to go answer the door. I will be right back. All right, Pisces, we're back. Sorry about that pause. But anyway, let's continue. So overall, we were just saying the same energy is here as it was for that Virgo reading. There's a lot of pain, or not necessarily, I don't want to say pain, but there's definitely a lot of this missing someone energy. There's this kind of looming energy over here. It was saying that it's also here for you. So that's what I mean. It's a mirror message. The energy is the same. Let's continue expanding this. I have me like close my eyes now for this shuffle. So I'm just sitting here feeling this. Temperance. I'll put this over here. With this Temperance card, saying take one thing at a time. It also said one rep at a time, because we were kind of talking about this weight bar, right? The Temperance card is about an even flow, an even give and take, an equal balance, being connected to spirit and the real world, logic and intellect plus intuition. You know, it's just like you got to have a well-rounded view and balance in everything. Talking about food and water. She's got like a little orange in her hand and then she's pouring water out. It's talking about, that's what I'm saying. It's like you got to have healthy balance of diet for your body. You got to have a healthy mentality, healthy emotions, a healthy dose of reality, along with a healthy dose of spirituality or imagination, right? With that coming out under this Three of Pentacles and everything we were discussing there, that's part of that heavy weight. So this is part of like the underlying energy too, is like you're trying to maintain this healthy balance. You're trying to remain in that alignment, but and you're working towards that alignment. That's this with this 2 energy I've been referencing. That's what you're attracting, is this alignment, this balance. And especially here with this Temperance card under that Three of Pentacles. That's the song you're trying to play too. Because we were talking about her playing this song, this protection and this heavy weight are integral parts of understanding what's happening at this time, Pisces. The song that you're trying to play is that of being very evenly balanced across the whole spectrum and taking everything one note at a time, one day at a time, one strum at a time, one, you know, all that. There's definitely an emphasis on money and resources with a lot of these cards here too, and just the food and water reference. So it's talking about a lot of these things. And going back to the you see clearly now, it's like you see what's important, right? Like that's part of the other message here too, is you're working on seeing what's important. It just gave me the bare necessities from the Jungle Book, that song Baloo sings, right? So that's what I mean. It's like and that's the same on that other side. So you see clearly that the focus of this energy right now is on the bare necessities, which is overall alignment and balance. But there is this message about either missing a loved one or feeling disconnected from someone or something. The world feels cold now that it's gone away. And that's the energy that's being reflected over here. So you're trying to play this song of overall balance. Lucky number 7 card going over here. And 4 plus 3 equals a 7. So that's definitely a message for you. Lucky number 7 card going over there. Three of Cups. Very much about joy and celebration. It's showing me, I was talking about that sister energy, right? It's showing me how these two women especially could be sisters. Just their hairstyle is a little different, right? And that's often how you see sisters or brothers, right? They'll look very similar to each other, but like their hair is a little bit different. And that's how you can identify them and tell them apart. And it's kind of pointing that out here about these two kids too. So there's that 2 energy again coming through on this 3. 2 and 3 are a big number, and there's 3, 2, 3. 3, 3, 3, 3. You got, man, you got lots of 3s as well. So I'm saying, those synchronicities are here for you as well. You are aligned with your sister energy, with your opposite energy. You are in alignment and in harmony with those things. And I think that's where this joy and happiness and celebration comes through on this 3 of Cups. A 3 of Cups energy is often about a small group of people getting together to celebrate things or just have a good time, right? Like girl time, girl talk, little parties, and all of the things that can kind of come with that. So sometimes the 3 of Cups can have some other connotations to it, but it's mostly talking to me today about how these 2 women just have different hairstyles. They look very similar to each other. It's talking about these 2 kids and how like they're roughly the same size, kind of look the same from the drawing, but their hairstyle is a little different. So it's definitely talking about hair. It's not how their hair is different. And it's talking about how much though they're still related, how much they still resemble each other, how much in alignment that energy is. So that message coming through about, you know, the bigger crystal being the same stone as this smaller crystal, the energy is aligning. That is just reconfirmed here with this 3 of Cups. You are in alignment with that sister energy, whatever that represents for you at this time. And that's where it was kind of pointing out this woman here. She's got the long hair. Could be like a third sister to them, or it could just be one of them standing alone at this time. And that's the other thing it's pointing out. Notice how these figures are pretty much standing alone. And then we've got these cards here in the middle where there's more than one person represented at the same time. You're in alignment with that energy as well, where there's been this solitude energy. But look, this one's got a stone face too. Like there's this mask, there's something else here. Could possibly be echoing the energy of this mask as well. So I'm saying it's here for you too, Pisces. There's this stone or mask face present here on this row, on this side. On the left side, on the feminine side, that is watching everything. And this is a Sagittarius energy card. But it's just, there's these faces here that are also present, but these people are alone. So there's that looming feeling again of eyes that are connected to a human form, but aren't a human form. looming in the background. But they're otherwise alone. And then here, though, we have a connection with real people. So you're in alignment. You're trying to connect with real people, right? Not just these faces or these formless eyes kind of paying attention to your energy. You're in alignment with this energy of working with other people, collaborating, serving other people, mingling, celebrating. You want to be amongst other people and have that connection. You don't want to stay in this energy. You want to connect with people and have that energy around. So under this Three of Swords here, Ace of Pentacles. So the way the light's hitting this card right now, it's making the gold reflect, which it was doing that in Virgo's reading, and that makes sense. It's just the light's right there. But it's really got this gold coin lit up for me. And more importantly, though, it's really got this wing lit up for me. And she's got an ankh in her hand, which is the symbol of masculine and feminine energies coming together as the creative manifesting source of life, right? Hang on. It's kind of giving me something. It's got me really evaluating this image here. Sorry if you can hear my dog whining in the background. Definitely pointing out that big wing. But the wing is attached to this bird, and there's this bird sitting on her shoulder. And that's where, for the first time, I always thought that was like her wing. Kind of like how they represent figures or goddesses a lot in Egyptian imagery. But this is a different bird. So that's where it's kind of coming to me as like a spirit guide. Like you have a spirit guide sitting on your shoulder, Pisces. And the spirit guide is very much bringing not only messages of that balanced masculine feminine energy, power of manifestation and creation through that ankh of life. The ankh is also a sign of protection in that case. There's this big pentacle, which is something very solid and real. With it coming out under this Three of Pentacles, okay, that's where it was just saying it is real. 3, 2, 1. We also have a countdown. It's acknowledging this energy. It said this pain is real. This message is real. This mirror flip energy, this connection you have to this person is real. And it just said, as above, so below, as within, so without. If this is like the earth plane, like a lower plane, and this is acknowledging feelings from a higher plane, then that's where it's just showing me these pentacles, and it's saying like it's present on both planes. And that's where it's just real. Ooh, nice. It was saying, it pointed this out to me right here as like it's a quilt, this pattern on the floor that she's standing on, like it's a quilt. Quilts are usually handmade and made with lots of love, right? And they take time and they take patience to sew all the pieces together. It's kind of referencing these tarot cards as pieces of a quilt. It takes time to sew all of these things together. And we were talking about missing someone, right? So especially if you have like an item that someone gave you, a quilt, clothing, maybe it's some kind of, I was gonna say, she's holding this pentacle, like there's a real object, there's a real thing. There's a real thing that you have, I would say definitely in your possession, that reminds you of this person, and most likely it's helping you through the grief process of not being around this person or their energy, whether they are passed on or whether they are alive and no longer in your life kind of deal. There's a very real pain that is being recognized. This this is really being felt. Nice. There's been a cross in my rose quartz this whole time, but it was mostly like a little shadow cross. Now there's a light cross. It's the way that the light's passing through the crystal. Now there's a light cross. That's what I'm saying, is there's just truth in this, and it was real. It is real. You have some kind of physical item that you are literally holding on to. And with it being the ace, it was like, right, like that was possibly, it said like a seed of love. There's like a seed of love. There's an item that carries that feeling with you. And even though it does bring like bittersweet memories along with it, it's not about you clinging to it to feel that pain energy again. It's just, right? Grief is a process that is difficult to go through, and it's different for everybody. Some people need to be alone. Some people need to be in groups of people, serving other people, hanging out with friends. But at the end of the day, no matter which way you choose to go with your energy, what's being acknowledged is that this pain is real. Three of Swords is usually the heartbreak card. This heartbreak is real. This grief is real. This feeling of loss and being lost is a real thing. And it's very much attached to some kind of real world object that, like a spirit guide, brings you these memories and brings you this energy and brings you these things to wrap yourself in comfort with. And that's where the quilt energy is coming from. Kind of like a nice, soft, warm blanket, you know? I had a dream. Yeah, okay, here it goes. I had a dream. Boy, this makes sense too. I had this dream right before the new year, and I essentially, it relates to a Pisces, and this person kept showing up in the dream and they'd disappear, and then I'd fall asleep and I'd wake back, and I'd fall asleep in the dream and wake up again in the dream and the person would be gone. And then I'd find them again, and they were with a group of people, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. They just like went off with their friends, and like there was all that energy. And then like something happened again, and this person was gone again, and I kept kind of just being sad and upset, like, where is this person going? Why is it every time I turn around that they just kind of vanish? And eventually we were in this weird like lodge, like a hunting lodge or something like that around the winter time. And finally, after I saw them with a group of people and they disappear again, I go looking for them, and I find them, and they're in a room alone, and they didn't lock the door or shut the door. It was just cracked. And I like knock and ask if I can come in, and they say yes, and I come in, and that's when I find this person in a chair wrapped in a huge blanket, like huge, but it was like two comforters, like huge blankets, right? And I had never seen this person so upset or stressed or in pain in one of my dreams before, and I didn't know what to do with that energy. And so I was just kind of like, yes, thank you, Spirit. In my dream, it was weird. It was like I was sitting on their shoulder. It was like I was like, they're wrapped in the blanket in this big chair. It's like I was sitting on the arm of the chair, kind of like leaning on them, like leaning on their shoulder. And I'm there, and I'm asking like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And that's when this person lays down, had their shirt off, lays down like you're gonna get a massage, right? And I see all of these sores and wounds and scars and growths and just like all of these deformities in essence on the skin of their back. And in my dream, it didn't bother me. It wasn't like I was like, ew, or anything like that. It was just, I started studying them, and I was wondering where they all came from, why that was there. And this person started telling me about all of their wounds and the things that had happened. And there was 3 spots in particular on this person's back. And one of them was about like a tranquilizer dart hitting them. So like being silenced. And it was right at the center of the back of their heart chakra. And And that's where I was trying to figure out what all these wounds were about. And then all of a sudden it switched to this person sitting in the chair again, and they had a huge hole, like gaping hole in their left rib cage. And they were, you know, like just so upset, obviously. And I was sitting on their shoulder, and that's what I'm asking them, like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And it was understood that a bullet had passed through this person, and they were kind of holding it all in one area. So I asked, did it go through your elbow or your rib cage? And suddenly there was this third person in the room at this bar that suddenly showed up. We're talking about a bar. And she just looked at me, and I don't recognize her. I don't know who this person is in the dream, but she just looked at me and she called my name. She said, Aston. And I like lock eyes with her. And then she says, both, as if the bullet had passed through both the arm and the left rib cage. And then I woke up, and I wouldn't tell you guys this dream if it wasn't related to a Pisces. So Pisces, what I'm getting off of that whole dream, why I told it to you, why we're mentioning it here with these cards, you have a wound, and you have many wounds that have been held back. Like I was saying, this owl's sitting on something, but you can't tell what. That this is mirror energy. There's a deep wound that you're holding back. And that's what I mean. It was like one big wound. It was one big hole there in the rib cage. And it's just one of these things that I'm just getting the feeling now that it brought that dream to me here for your reading, that you got some stuff that you've been holding back. You very much, I was talking about that quilt, you're clinging to some kind of object, some kind of comfort, and you're wrapping yourself in it because you need that to help you through. Sorry about my dogs. Sorry, Pisces. That time it was the school bus going by. My dog's barking. Anyway, as I was saying, there's a wound. It was present in that dream. You have been retreating. You've been retreating away from people watching you that you don't know possibly are watching you. You're retreating away from some of this energy. You're trying to stay balanced. You're trying to still be present and sing your songs and do your thing. But then you've even tried to socialize and be amongst people and celebrate, but that's kind of spread you too thin as well. So then it's like you retreated back into that little room all by yourself. And the truth of the matter is, when you're alone in that room at night, you're clinging to something that brings you that comfort, that's helping you through some kind of grief or heartache process. And that's where it's saying, like, this is real. Like, this connection you feel is real. The feelings that are here in these cards are real. In the higher and the lower realms, it is solid and fully recognized. It's not just an air element or just a water element. It's a pentacle. It's earth energy. It's as solid and real as it gets, is basically what it's saying. What's this seventh card over here? You got some heavy energy in here, Pisces. And if you are secretly hiding some wounds from others, I think that they can see them. It's just, you've been retreating as well. And they're here. They're paying attention. They're on your shoulder. Your spirit guides are always here with you, guiding you. They're on your shoulder, talking into your ear, showing you the way to that unified energy and showing you that you're protected and, right? And so they're showing it to you despite this heartache and this pain energy. So to help you through that, ground yourself in this knowledge. You are protected. You are being guided always. They're always with you. They're right beside you, sitting on your shoulder, whispering what you need to hear, bringing you protection. Yes, this stuff is real. Okay? You see that clearly now. This stuff is real. Look, that's an owl. We got a bird. Might as well be that owl. This stuff is real. We said lucky number 7. What's the final note on this reading, Pisces? Whew. Ten of Cups. That Ten of Cups. So just as happy as it gets. The Ten of Cups it's about all kinds of happiness. Usually a Ten of Cups is about being surrounded by family. It could just be your spirit family. It could be your friends. It could be specifically feminine energy. You got a lot of feminine energy in here today, and it is like there is. Sorry, Pisces, we're going to try this one last time. We're going to wrap this up quickly because if I get interrupted one more time while I'm trying to do your reading, I'm going to throw a hissy fit. So I was going to say this Ten of Cups, which I'm sitting here watching the clock on this recording now. This Ten of Cups is all about being surrounded by family and friends. It's about this feminine energy that's all around you right now in all of these cards that is just surrounding you and nurturing you. And that's where it was bringing me back to this owl who I was saying was perching on something, but we couldn't quite see what. It's perching on your shoulder over here as your spirit guides. And maybe knowing that, and I was saying this feels like feminine energy, so much feminine energy surrounding you at this time. And that's all the emotions and feelings, and you're not just in that Cups energy. Again, you're very grounded in reality, but you can't deny that this feeling's in here, and that comfort item, whatever it might be, that is here bringing you through this process, this grief process, this heartache. That feminine energy is sitting on your shoulder, and it's represented by this owl energy too, that sister energy, that mirror energy. So the feminine energy really feels you at this time. And all these figures in here have their eyes closed, like they're sleeping. And instead, we have this one figure with the blonde hair. Her eyes are open. And her pose is very much with the hands together, just like, and it's like, I just love you. And that's what being surrounded by your friends, your family, your spirit guides, your spirit family feels like. And so that's the final message here for you, Pisces. You see clearly that you're absolutely, it said, you're absolutely surrounded. It said you're absolutely surrounded. And it's tying back to that looming energy here. But you're not just surrounded by this looming, these eyes, these faces that aren't necessarily human. You're surrounded by friends and family and spirit guides. They're literally on your shoulder at all times, bringing you the guidance and messages that you need. So, without a shadow of a doubt, this pain that you feel is felt equally by either the other party or whatever this mirror energy is for you. People recognize your pain. They see your wounds. There's that psychic energy in here about that. They see your wounds. They feel your wounds. They know your wounds. They are surrounding you. And look, this looks like a giant quilt. Even though it's like people in their dresses, it looks like a giant quilt, right? Like they are that quilt of comfort as well, surrounding you at this time. And they want you to be happy. They want you to be happy and comforted in knowing that all this energy is here to surround you. So you're completely surrounded with love. And I'm going to wrap it up there. That's what I got for you, Pisces. Let me know how it resonates for you guys, and I'll see you on the next batch of readings. Thank you.